Is anyone else completely obsessed with binging Queen Charlotte from Shonda Rhimes? I will say that I absolutely love Shonda's brain and how she has fleshed out this story of Queen Charlotte. Even if you are not into Shonda Rhimes and not into this series of Bridgerton in general, this storyline hits on so many topics. And as I was watching the show, I was taking some notes. I am going to have to rewatch it so that I can just watch it just for the entertainment of watching it. But just watching what it means to be a queen and the loneliness, and you can just see what it means to be in a gilded cage, to be so beautiful and have so much, but just be so lonely. And then it's just the sadness of the realization when you are just a womb. Your sole job as the queen, when people boil it down, is just to be a womb for the royal heirs. And then as young Queen Charlotte becomes older Queen Charlotte, you begin to understand why she is how she is and how she pushes her children the exact same way that she was pushed. Because when you get down to it, that normalization of women being a womb, of your sons having the responsibility of providing an heir, it becomes so normal in your everyday of your everyday being. And then with this storyline, Shonda Rhimes is amazing in how she weaved in the complexities of love and loving someone with mental illness. This was amazing. It was heart wrenching. You see from both sides the love and how they dealt with a relationship where one party was having some mental impairments. And oh my God, the awareness that Shonda Rhimes is bringing to this community and this conversation that some of us may not have had. Some of us may look at someone with mental illness and not see the complexities of that person and their relationships. And, we just kind of write them off as somebody that needs to be put over there. But the way she wrote this was brilliant. And through this relationship, we see what growing up with children and how the children may end up on the other side due to this relationship was brilliant. And I definitely believe that this story for this piece alone is worth watching. But you guys go ahead and chime in and tell me what you think. What Shonda Rhimes did with this story of Lady Danbury is amazing. We learn so much of what women have gone through from the time that we are little girls up until, widowhood, and what is expected, and how little girls are betrothed to older men. In this story, we see Lady Danbury with an older man. So this is the young Lady Danbury. This is the Lady Danbury on the other side that we have seen throughout the series. So Shonda Rhimes fleshed out this story of how she became who she was. So this is Lady Danbury's husband, Herman. Could you imagine being given, basically sold to a man that is this much older than you are? And the experiences that you have felt as a young girl being basically just given to an old man. This just speaks to what women across the globe have gone through with these old men taking on wives that are significantly younger. And when people romanticize older men with younger women, we don't think about the girls that are basically just being sold. Whew. But in this story, we see the strength of a woman to have a game plan regardless of the situation that she was born into and then sold into. We see what life is like in widowhood and how women have got to resettle and reconfigure life, especially if that woman was left in the dark as far as finances. And let's be honest and let's be completely real. Women up until here recently, have had no control of finances, or anything. We didn't have those rights. So if your man was not a good steward of money, if he left you in the dark, if he didn't leave a succession in his will, where would you be? Would you just be at the whims of charity to survive? So that is something that we have to think about when we think about history and the rights that we now have as far as survival. Because before that, if if we solely left our survival in the hands of men and they just died, and let's be honest, men do typically die before the woman. There was no surviving if you had no money. So love is cool, but you do still need money for survival. So this storyline was brilliantly done, and she weaved in so much history as far as what women have gone through throughout history. But you guys go ahead and tell me what you think, and like, comment, and share.